What's up, you bunch of GP?
What's up?
We are here in Tampa, Florida at Busch Gardens Tampa, and today we're going to be giving you a full park walkthrough. We'll show you the layout, the attractions, the shows, and everything in between, and show you what to expect on your visit here. We're of course starting right here at the entrance. We have already scanned in, but you can see some other folks walking in. The current entrance is straight ahead. You can see a little bit of blue kind of construction walls over there. They're currently working on a new entrance for next season. So if you're watching this sometime in 2023, you can expect to come in somewhere over there, but either way, they'll guide you in. So yeah, as we pivot around, we're here in the entry plaza. Directly upon entry, you'll see the Emporium. This is kind of the main gift shop, if you will, which you'll see that at a lot of parks.
Yeah, you know the gift shop.
They got shirts and mugs and all that good stuff, magnets.
On your left, you got your first snack stand, Village Snacks. Apparently featuring famous jumbo smoked turkey legs.
Nice.
We got more marketplace here. The Marrakesh Market.
Another side entrance to that same Emporium gift shop here. And right away you come to your first food offering.
Sultan Sweets. Coffee, cupcakes, and ice cream. Great place to stop and pop in really just to get snacks. They have chips and popcorn and simple snacks. Lots of good sweets, brownies, cupcakes, ice cream, all that good stuff that your kids are gonna love.
Directly to the right of this, worth mentioning, of course, we have a package pickup. That is a service that they offer here, where if you purchase something in the park, you can have it delivered to the front. They give you a ticket. That way you don't have to carry your merch around the park all day. This is where you would come to pick it up at the end of your day. And then directly over here is where you would rent wheelchairs and strollers for all of you families out there. As you can see, lots of signage that will direct you to whatever attraction or area you're trying to go to.
On our left here, we've got a Coca-Cola Freestyle. Good old spot to get all of your favorite soft drinks and icy frozen drinks. And the backside of Sultan Sweets.
It's drizzling today a little bit, so forgive me if I'm periodically doing this. I'm just gonna keep your face clean so you can see everything.
On the left here, we have first little animal enclosure. Busch Gardens Tampa has lots of animals for you to enjoy.
Including squirrels in the Midway. Yeah, so you got some American alligators in here. You can kind of see him poking out over there. He's just, catching some raindrops on his face.
And some good old turtles. Yeah, always some good old gators and turtles in there for you to enjoy.
You'll probably see some of this signage throughout. Currently, at the time of filming, they're doing their Hallow Scream Halloween event. So don't expect to see that year round. That's just around Halloween. But they do a lot of festivals around this time of year, or around every time of year.
And on our left, over here, we have the Mayombe Reserve.
Yes.
Which is where they have some gorillas on display, some different gorillas and apes. So again, like we said, lots of great animal exhibits and attractions here at Busch Gardens Tampa. On our right, we have our first big theater of Busch Gardens Tampa. This is the Moroccan Palace Theater, which is currently home to their award-winning ice skating show called Turn It Up. It is considered one of the best amusement park theme shows. So if you only have time to do one show here, then we're going to do the Moroccan Palace and see Turn It Up.
Oh, and over here you'll see some wild enthusiasts.
Some enthusiasts in the wild. Our friends Rob and Chuck and their buddies Got another gift shop straight up ahead called Caravan Crossing. Now as we proceed ahead, we're entering the Egypt section of the park.
So all the things that we can do to set them up.
And here's a treat for you guys. On our right currently,
I'd say we do a good
they are
job
doing
here at Cheetah Run.
the Cheetah Run show.
Now cheetahs unfortunately aren't in the wild.
They always have a couple of cheetahs in this area,
out in the wild.
and from time to time throughout the day,
the illegal pet trade.
they have shows where they show the cheetahs come out,
cheetahs are
and you
taken
really
out
get to see their speed as they
their
take off and
habitats
run
as young
across
as
this
a few
area.
years old, put into the illegal pet trade.
So make sure
Unfortunately,
you
they don't
stop
live to
and
be
see the
past,
cheetahs run.
1 to 2 years of age.
We won't
Now,
wait
this
around
here
to show you
is
because we want to give you
12
guys something to do when you get here.
And she's had a long
You gotta
happy
see
life,
it
and
for
she's
yourself.
got many more years to come, hopefully.
But you know it's here
and
now.
those resources that we're able to provide to our cheetahs here at Busch Gardens, you don't find in the illegal pet trade. So
Apologies if this audio is drowning us out. The speakers are quite loud for this show.
They do not make good pets. But there is one thing that you can do.
Just up above, I'm sure you heard that launch.
Here at Busch Gardens, we have what's called the SeaWorld Busch Gardens Conservation Fund. And what we do is we provide funding to projects all across the globe. The one near to us here at Cheetah Run is the Cheetah Conservation Fund. So when cheetahs in the wild can't find
So if you can't already catch the theme of this area, there's lots of cheetahs going on. We've got some cheetah snacks over here.
So what we do is
And
we provide them with
running
guide dogs
throughout this
and,
area, this
help
lovely
protect their
green
livestock
track,
and has created
which
a,
is also attached to a cheetah, but we'll get there in a second.
Right.
Right here, directly in the center, one of the centerpieces of the park, the Serengeti Overlook.
All right. Now what you're seeing over here on your right, it's not going to be here unless you're here for Halloween. These buildings over here they use for one of their haunted houses. Looks like this year this one's called the Stranglewood Estate.
Ooh, lots of vines growing. Looks pretty creepy.
Now we mentioned Halloween, it's their Halloween event. It's a great event, lots of fun. They have good scare zones in the park. They have several haunted houses to walk through. Lots of fun. That only happens during the Halloween season. Usually starts in mid to early September and runs through Halloween. And generally only operates on Friday through Sunday nights. Occasionally, I think later in the season, they also open for Thursday nights. So.
And then, of course, periodically throughout the rest of the calendar year, they have various other events, a lot kind of centered around like food and beverage. They do a lot of cool events.
And on our right, we have some booths that are normally open with some games, some midway games. But I suppose since today it's a little drizzly and a lighter day, they decided to close the games. But usually you'll be able to do games here.
And then, of course, we wouldn't be a coaster channel if we didn't show you where all the coasters were. This is the first coaster we've come to on this pathway, Cobra's Curse. And you can see it there in the background. It's got some spinning action going on, and it's got a really cool elevator lift system.
Cobra's Curse is the second newest coaster here in this park. Opened in 2016, it is a mock spinning coaster. It's really unique. It has an elevator lift, so if you look there, you can see that giant snake. They will lift your car all the way up. Instead of going up a hill, you take an elevator up to the top, and then you ride down on the path and have lots of fun as it'll rotate and spin in certain sections and even go backwards through one section. But not very intense, a great family ride. Straight ahead of us is the entrance to Montu. This is the Egyptian-themed B&M invert coaster. One of the best here at this park. One of the best in the world, in fact.
Yes. And as you're going to hear,
Get a little look at this and hear it roar.
she's a beauty. Sporting a lovely new paint job this season here.
Now, if you notice up here ahead, there's a path that goes under Cobra's Curse.
Just directly over there.
And we're gonna skip this path. This path just goes around the outside and the back of Cobra's Curse, and you get to see in the distance there what's called the Serengeti Plain. We'll show you guys a little bit of that later from a different path. But they have a huge open savanna area where they have lots of animals on display in a traditional African savanna type environment. So we're going to turn around and head back out of this area. Like I said, instead of taking that path around, there are lots of good paths and walkways here. So there are a few of them that we will skip, and we'll just tell you where they're going to head to. But no attractions along that back path. Like we said, just a nice little scenic look. You get to see the backside of Cobra's Curse and the Serengeti Plain. So over on your right, you may have seen as we came past here before, the Serengeti Overlook. This big, really nice building, as you can see on the sign, has the new Giraffe Bar and Oasis Pizza. So you can go in there. It's always air conditioned, very big building, lots of space. You can have a seat, enjoy the air conditioned comfort, and grab some food and drinks. And boy, I can tell you, the SeaWorld parks, which, if you guys didn't know, the SeaWorld company owns the Busch Gardens parks as well. They do a great job with food and beverage. So they always have lots of great cocktails and beverages for the adults, and great food and
this location is aptly named as well. It's you can actually see some animals from up there because it is at a high point in the park. So great views while you dine as well.
And it overlooks, as it's called, the Serengeti Plain, as we were just telling you. So on the left, now we come back to what Jimmy was just talking about, the Cheetah Hunt.
Yes.
This is one of the most popular coasters here at Busch Gardens Tampa.
Awesome Intamin multi-launch coaster. Not the most intense coaster either, but it does have nice intensity.
Yep, that opened in 2011. Has been a crowd favorite ever since it opened. And just a little warning, like we said, it's not that intense. It's great for families, but it does have one inversion. So if you got those family members who don't like to go upside down at all, then maybe that's not for them. Now you also saw on the left there entrance to the Sky Ride. That ride has been closed for the last couple of years, but they're doing some refurbishments, and we expect that to open up soon. So right next to Cheetah Hut, you can board the Sky Ride, which will take you over the Serengeti Plain and across to the other side of the park. We're going to continue along this path here, heading in towards the center of the park. The path on our right here is leading from where we were just showing you, the path that's going to go behind Cobra's Curse and past the Serengeti Plain, behind the Serengeti Overlook.
There are no major attractions back there, but it is a more scenic walkway. So we'll leave that one for you all to explore.
Exactly.
Now along this walkway, we're going to see a lot of entrances to animal enclosures. There again, in the spirit of leaving some surprises for you all, we'll just kind of mention some of the highlights, but we won't take you and show you every single animal that's here. But there are lots of really, really cool exotic species on display here.
Yeah, we want you guys to explore and enjoy them on your own.
We'll just show you how to get there.
Yeah. Look at this nice little bit of theming they've added up here this year, the Nile River Canoe Outpost. That's right, we're on an adventure, folks. Now the park is called Busch Gardens Tampa, but if you didn't know, it generally has an African theme. It used to be called Busch Gardens Africa. And so yeah, that's the general theme you're going to see around here. Like I said, the Serengeti Plains, lots of animals that would be in Africa, and just the general feeling of being on that continent.
And it's well done too.
Oh no, look out for that lion up there.
Oh, he's peeking at us.
Boy, he is well behaved. The animals are just wonderfully trained here.
They won't even eat you. They'll just look at you. Over here you got one of your free roaming friends. You'll see these guys at lots of parks here in Florida. He's just snacking.
Now, if you look to your right here, you'll see a path that's going to go partially into the Serengeti Plain and walk around. You get a good view of the plain again and some more animal exhibits.
You can see kind of a preview of what they have to offer that way here.
Correct. We are going to go to the left. So this path that we're taking, again, it just circles around. You go to the right there and go around, and you'll meet back up where we're going to be in just a moment. That is the cheetah hunt coaster that you saw just zipping past us. It's a long run. It's very scenic. From where it starts, it goes all the way across the park.
Yeah. Weaves through parts of the Serengeti. So if you're not too blinded by the intensity, you can take a look around while you're on the ride and see some cool animals.
On the right there, you got the Serengeti Safari Base Camp. That is, from time to time, they do safaris that go out into the Serengeti Plain, and this is where you would load up and board onto a safari vehicle and go take a look at the animals out up close on the Serengeti Plain. Now, at this junction, we are coming to a large path that runs through the middle of the park. Runs from the area where we were up by the Moroccan Palace Theater right straight up to the Pantopia area. We're going to circle back here to the left and head back towards where we started, just give you a little idea of what's on the central path, and then turn around and head back up towards Pantopia. So again, when you're passing that Moroccan Palace Theater, you could make a left, cut right through this central path and head towards the back of the park in the Pantopia area, or you can take the path that we took to get out to all those other attractions we named. Well, here you see a lot more animal exhibits. Looks like we've got a scare zone set up ahead. Voodoo is not here all the time. This is here for Howl-O-Scream. I'm sure at night some scary creepies and crawlies come jumping out of these areas.
Yeah, right.
And it can be quite scary. On our last visit to Howl-O-Scream, we saw a girl just fall down in fear, right in the middle of the midway, like, please, please don't attack me.
Don't do it.
Oh God.
I'm scared.
So they do a great job with these scare zones and their scare actors.
Yeah, easy to see where they're going to jump out at you when it's daytime. But you turn off all the lights and you are in for a surprise just about everywhere you walk.
And when we circle around here on our left, you will see the entrance to the Nairobi train station. They have a really nice train here that goes way out again into the Serengeti Plain. Let's say Serengeti again. And this is one of the 2 train stations.
Let's just get on the train and get off.
Oh, and look, we got some penguin friends here. He's just trying to swim his way to freedom, but that's plexiglass. He's not going to make it.
Swimming right at the glass. These guys like the glass today. Look at them.
One of these days, they're going to find the hole. They're just certain of it. And they'll be free to eat all the popcorn and cheeseburgers in the park. Looks like we're entering another of the temporary scare zones. You will not see this beyond the veil sign here year-round.
Right. As you guys will see as we walk around the park, you'll notice lots of great greenery. And let me remind you, the park is called Busch Gardens. They want to make sure they live up to that garden's name. So it's always beautifully landscaped, lots of tree cover and flowers, wonderful things. So now, right here, we're going to stop, and you can see straight ahead of us.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Straight ahead of us, the Moroccan Palace Theater. So this is where we came from and walk past to head out into the Egypt area. But we're going to turn around and head back up. So again, if you wanted to skip those attractions or take a different path, you'd be able to make this right turn here when you're walking in at Moroccan Palace, where the Turn It Up show is. And you can head right on up this central path. So that's what we're going to do. Let's continue heading up towards the middle and the top part of the park. And so we're right back past the Nairobi train station, folks, and the stuff that you see on your left is more animal exhibits and the Animal Connections Center. You can go in, it's a nice little walkthrough, again, see some more animals, and even occasionally see how the Busch Gardens team cares for their animals. I got to see one of their tours recently where they showed the care for elephants. So we were just a few feet away from a majestic elephant as the Busch Gardens care team showed us how they wash their feet. Unbelievably well-trained elephants that just on cue, they say, hey, raise your foot up. Elephant raises a foot up and they spray their little feet down, give them a scratch, give them a little food. And so the animal care team is really great here. They do a good job. You can get to see some of that for yourself. And right here on the right, you'll see we're right back to the path that we hit this middle path coming from. So here we go, continuing forward with new stuff. On your left, you got the Kenya Canteen.
Looks like you got some soft serve ice cream, some refreshments. Of course, restrooms are pretty abundant here, which I think this park does a good job of.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like at the Serengeti Outpost here is where you would sign up for your safari tours, make some reservations. And
you can also purchase photo packages there as well.
And another little snack stand there on your left. Looks like very simple snacks. Ice cream, soda, and good old Dippin' Dots. We know your kids love the Dippin' Dots. And probably some of you big kids too.
Here's another temporary scare zone. They appear to have used the Stranger Things font for that.
As we continue ahead here, you see on your left more of the Animal Care Center. It's again more of where you can see how they care for and feed animals. And on your left, one of the best, or on the right, one of your best exhibits in the Serengeti, which is, as I mentioned before, the elephants. They have quite a few of these majestic and peaceful creatures.
And his feet look pretty clean.
But his back is dirty.
Well,
but that's how they like it.
It's still early in the day. It's not time for his evening bath yet, I don't think.
Hey man, if I had to deal with the Florida heat all the time, I'd throw a little dirt on my back too.
Yeah, right. That natural sunblock.
Right here on the right is the elephant interaction area. This is, they open up that gate, and this is where we got to see the elephants come right up and be close to us at the fence and see how they were cared for. Now we enter a new section of the park. And you see the name of this section of the park straight ahead on this tower. This area they call Pantopia. Very colorful area.
Yeah, super vibrant.
Very vibrant.
Higher energy music.
I think they're trying to evoke the colorful areas of Morocco in Africa.
That's definitely what this gives me, Moroccan vibes.
Yes.
We've got a henna and face paint on the left available. Of course, one of the many abundant refreshment stands you'll find in the park here on the right. No snow cones today, but that is a snow cone stand.
Now,
Looks like
straight ahead, we see the entrance to Falcon's Fury. And Jimmy, just look up and show the people what they're ahead of. Falcon's Fury is a large drop tower, one of the tallest in the world. I know it's over 300 feet. I'm gonna say it's around 350 feet tall. So that thing will take you up 35 stories or so, turn you and face you toward the ground at the top. So you're tilted and facing down, and then it drops. One of the most thrilling drop towers on the planet. Unfortunately, closed today, but we do love Falcon's Fury.
And it's fairly reliable, so don't take today as an indicator of its reliability.
On your left, you have the Dragonfire Grill, very large indoor seating area with food, lots of food choices, and they always have music performances in there. It looks like currently they're doing the Keys to Happiness with a piano artist and Rolling Bones. Sounds to me like a Rolling Stones cover band. So there's always live music and shows in that area where you can go in and eat and watch a show at the same time. Straight ahead of us is Scorpion, one of the most classic coasters here. In fact, it is currently the oldest coaster at Busch Gardens Tampa. So this is one of the OGs that opened in 1980. It is a classic Schwarzkopf coaster. Not too intense, but does have an inversion, as you can see. One vertical loop. So it's a good place for youngsters or thrill seekers in training to start. Get that first big thrill, go upside down.
If you've never been on what we would call a Schwarzkopf, I would recommend it. They're very
great classic maker of coasters. Roller coaster enthusiasts tend to love Schwarzkopfs. So.
At the risk of sounding like an old timer, they just don't make them like that anymore. All right, of course, self-explanatory here. We've got Twisted Tails pretzels and also some craft beers.
Yes, that's an excellent place to grab beer here when you're in Pantopia. Always got a good beer selection. Of course, the Busch in Busch Gardens comes from Anheuser-Busch, who used to operate these parks. So that's why they always wanted to make sure they had a good beer selection here at this park.
They know their beer, Anheuser. And SeaWorld has just picked up the torch and kept running with it.
And we're just cutting over to the other side of this little Pantopia area. So you can see a couple more attractions that are here. You got the Painted Camel Bazaar, which is a nice little gift area over on the right there. You got a nice flat ride ahead of us here, the Busch Flyers. So here's something for the kids. Simple spinning plane ride where you can raise your planes up and down.
And of course, the Phoenix. What park would be complete without a Viking ship style ride? And this park is no exception.
That's right, an amusement classic. Straight ahead of us here is the Sand Serpent. Another roller coaster here, opened in 2004, is a mock Wild Mouse.
And it is a relocated coaster. Currently, it formerly operated as Wildemoss at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, the sister park of this park, which is, funny enough, park that I grew up going to as a kid. So I have now ridden this coaster in both locations.
So that's a fun family coaster. I'm sure if you have been to other amusement parks, you may have seen a Wild Mouse. There no inversions, no big drops, just some small drops and lots of what we like to call lateral forces. Those are those forces that throw you to the side in your car when you're going around fast turns.
It's fun.
So it's fun for the family. On our left here, you can see that they have a lovely carousel, but it's currently undergoing some renovations. In fact, we just saw it move a little bit.
I think it just moved.
See one of the workers up on top right now. So.
And that's really telling of this park in general, and I think it paints a good picture. They take care of their stuff here.
And all around us, you can see plenty of midway games all through the Pantopia area here.
Very vibrant and well-lit place at night. It's got lots of cool, colorful flashing lights and things to attract your attention.
And on the right, the entrance to another theater. This is the Pantopia Theater here at Busch Gardens. The entrance is currently closed because they are not hosting a show currently. So, but make sure you check when you come back to visit. Pantopia Theater may have something cool for you to see.
All right, that pretty much concludes the Pantopia section of the park, and we head around this bend here and get teleported into a new area. Teleported right into copyright music.
All right, so as we head out of Pantopia, you can see right away we come again to a nice little refreshment area and some more little simple games on your left there. But straight ahead in this building, is the Ubanga Banga bumper cars.
Great name.
And what would a theme park be without bumper cars? Another classic attraction.
One that you're seeing less and less at the newer parks. They don't, a lot of newer parks aren't adding bumper cars.
And down this path to your right, we have the Congo train station. So this is the second station in the park where you can pick up the train. We showed you Nairobi. This one's called the Congo. So you can hop on the train at either location. You can hop off the train at either location. Or stay on the train and ride around as long as you like, enjoying the scenic views.
We've got restrooms on your left, and worth noting too, smoking is permitted at this park in designated areas. This is one of them.
For all you degenerates out there.
Yeah, not us. We would never. And I'd be lying if I said walking across this bridge didn't make me slightly happy every time I come to this park. And it's because of what is on the other side of it.
That's right. I think this coaster that we're coming upon has a very special place in both of our hearts. Can you hear it?
That classic B&M roar. There it goes.
Just take a listen at that.
As we come around, you can see in the background the very twisted layout. Brings you right up to Kumba.
So this is the entrance to Kumba.
A fantastic roller coaster manufactured by Bolliger and Mabillard.
Kumba really changed the industry. I can remember coming here, actually, my very first visit to Busch Gardens Tampa in 1993, which was the year that Kumba opened. Prior to that, we had looping and inverting coasters. That's what we have here. It's a coaster that does 7 inversions of all different kinds, vertical loops, Immelmans, dive loops, corkscrews.
It's got the total package.
And prior to that, some of those elements you couldn't even find on other coasters. They had simple vertical loops. The steel coasters were a little bit janky. You might get banged around a little bit. Kumba was butter smooth. So really set the industry afire. And this is why now Bolliger and Mabillard is one of the biggest and best known, well-regarded coaster designers in the world. So
yeah, this installation, as you said, it was pretty key in the history of kind of bumping up their reputation where they belong in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I remember, like I said, my mind was blown in '93 when I got to ride this. So still a crowd favorite, and we hope that it's around for quite some time.
I can say it's definitely still in fantastic shape. Just don't look at a coaster's age and get scared off. Some of these are really well maintained.
So what you saw on your right over there was the Congo River Rapids, which here's the entrance to the Congo River Rapids. You guys know rapids rides or round raft rides that go over rapids. Generally get you pretty wet. So if you want to cool off on a hot day, it's a great spot to do so.
You will want a locker, probably, if you don't want all your stuff soaked.
And on the left, the Congo River Outfitters, good old gift shop.
Probably stop in there and get a last minute poncho if you don't want to get too wet, but yeah, great way to cool off on a hot day.
So we're crossing over a bridge and you can see the rapids.
And as we make our way up and around, we go underneath more beautiful scenic track work here.
Underneath
Kumba.
and above.
It's everywhere. It's all around us.
Kumba all around us.
And you can see below there, kind of in that little valley, the train tracks. The train goes all the way back through here.
By the way, Busch Gardens has told us since it opened that Kumba translates to roar in one of the African languages, which is why we wanted you guys to hear Kumba when we went up there. It is aptly named. It does sound like it's roaring as it's going around that track.
She likes to announce her presence.
So as we come down this path, we're just going to show you off to our left. Short little connector path, which just comes from where we just came out of Pantopia.
See
So
kind
we
of the
just
colors in the distance of Pantopia.
circled around across the bridge to Kumba and back by Congo River Rapids. But over here you got a little boat race area. You've got some restrooms. You got a little snack area and plenty of seating. But that is the path over there.
Over here you've got a tiger trail. Literally a little tiger exhibit you can walk into and view the tigers.
And buy some gifts right here on your left at Tiger Treasures.
And some wild treats, Dippin' Dots and the sorts. Another designated smoking area right off to the side there. And of course, in true African theming, the African-based corporation Chick-fil-A is here. I'm being sarcastic, folks. That's a very American company. It is delicious.
I believe it's pronounced Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
So this area that we were in currently is called the Congo. That's why we went through Congo River Rapids and Kumba. We're heading down to a nice little attraction for the kids called Treetop Trails. It's a play area, so the kids can walk across rope paths and have some fun up in the sky. Just like a big playground for the kids.
Good.
And they call this area Jungala. So you can see how big the play area is as we walk around here.
We should note it's a fairly quiet day in the park, so I would expect if you all came on a busier day, you would see all the trees full of children running around and screaming and having a good old time. There's a lot to do here. This is a huge kids' playground.
And you'll see again, unfortunately, they have the path blocked over here that says this attraction's temporarily closed. But yeah, there's a little more area that you can walk through there and see again, more animal exhibits. But we just wanted you guys to see this little area down here. We're gonna turn around and head back out of Jungala and continue along the main path.
Oh, and there is one flat ride I should point out too. There's a children's ride here. It's their mini drop tower called the Wild Surge, just kind of tucked back in here.
Oh yeah.
And it does peek up over the rock work here, but you kind of have to come into this Jungala area to even see that that's there. So keep that in mind. That's how you get to that attraction. If your kids want to experience their first drop tower and they're not quite ready for something as extreme as, say, Falcon's Fury, which we showed you earlier, then take them here.
And this is why we do these walkthroughs, folks. You notice we couldn't even see that. I almost forgot that it was behind that rock work.
Yeah, you just see rock work here.
So don't
barely
forget.
even see a tower peeking up. You can kind of see the top of the spire. That's about it.
So yes, there is not only the playground, but a ride attraction for your kids there as well.
Oh, this person has succumbed to the tentacles of the octopus. These are all temporary things as well. This is a pirate-themed scare
zone.
area.
see how nicely themed and set up the animal areas and attractions are. Lots of rock work and flora and fauna that just makes them feel like very natural habitats for the animals. And so now we cross out of Jungala into what they call Stanleyville. Now, Stanleyville is home to a few attractions. But before we talk about attractions, we got photo booth.
You know you got to get a pic with the fam and your friends and your boyfriend and whoever.
And once again, a nice little refreshment zone. Ooh, I like that strawberry daiquiri, frozen.
Oh, yeah. Bud Light, Mick Ultra, Yingling available as your beer offerings.
Mm-hmm.
Have a caricature stand not currently operating, but it is here. And another face paint and henna station, currently not operating, but we just saw other ones on the other side of the park operating.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn and cold refreshments off to the right here.
At the Outpost. Now we'll go just to the right here, and we'll show you the next roller coaster at Busch Gardens Tampa. Yeah, I misspoke earlier. I said that Cobra's Curse was the second newest attraction here.
That's
but
right. We forgot about Tigris.
Forgot about good old Tigris. So Tigris opened in 2019.
It is a Premier Skyrocket 2 model. Very tight, compact layout. Nice, intense launches to get you up and through all of that looping madness. A very slow barrel roll at the very top. And then you loop back down. And very short, but very fun ride. And quite smooth, too. Super smooth ride.
So we're going to turn around from here and continue on around. So turn around from Tigris. We're coming past the lockers for Tigris over here on the right. If you need to store your things before you get on the ride, as it does go upside down, like Jimmy said. We got an inversion 150 feet in the air.
Don't lose your phone, folks.
That's right. Cirque Extreme here is, again, just a Hallow Scream attraction.
Temporary, you will not. Don't expect to see that sign here outside of September and October.
And you may have seen as we started walking down this path, another attraction here in the area is the Stanley Falls Flume.
See, as it splashes down, that one is empty.
Everybody loves a good flume. This one's not a soaker, so it's good just to get you a little spritz, a little sprinkle, and cool you down on a hot day without getting too soaked. The entrance to that is straight ahead, and there's our queue.
Just right down this way.
And you've got some more snacks and drinks right outside of that ride.
Very unassuming sign, so definitely take note. That's where you get on.
On your right over there, you have more snacks and drinks at Shikra Sweet Treats.
Which is named, of course, for one of their flagship coasters in this area of the park, Shikra.
Shikra.
This is a B&M dive coaster.
And I don't want to neglect the Kariba Marketplace there on our left. Yet another gift shop.
And yeah, we'll see more of this layout as we continue walking. You'll be able to see it. A lot more of what Shikra does.
Oh yeah. Shikra is also from Bolliger and Mabillard, the company that we were told you made Kumba and became a sensation in the coaster world for their smoothness and really good inversions and airtime. This was a model that I believe this company invented. It's called the dive coaster. And we're coming upon it at a pretty good time because
yep, you're going to see
if you
exactly
look
what
up,
happens.
You're going to see why they call it a dive coaster.
So you can see right at the beginning of this drop here.
The trains have 8 seats across. Very unique, unlike your average coaster where you're sitting 2 or 4 across. So you see all the seats across, it's wide, and it holds.
Yep, they hold you there for a second, make you think about your choices, and then they release you.
And dives.
And it's up and around and through the rest of the layout. Quite the fun ride.
This coaster does have a couple of inversions. So again, this one's a more high thrill attraction.
And another one of the things you will see that it does here ahead, little sign warning you, caution splash zone, caution wet surface. Because that happens right there. As it zips by, it hits this trench here and ejects water out of the back of the train that just goes everywhere. So a word to the wise when you're walking through this area, just look for where the water is and don't walk there if you don't want to get wet. You can kind of see it's not as wet over here. It's a little wet because it's been drizzling today, but typically on a dry day, you'll definitely be able to see where not to walk.
On your left, you see the 3rd train station of the park, the Stanleyville train station. Same thing with Congo and Nairobi. You can board or exit the train here. That's our 3rd spot. But yeah, as Jimmy was saying, definitely watch out for that splash zone. It's a lot of fun, but man, this coaster kicks a lot of water up. I've seen little kids get knocked over by the water.
It's a lot, yeah. It's a huge tidal wave coming at you.
Splashing down. And, you know, they might love that. I saw kids laughing when they got knocked down by the water. But mom or grandma might not want to get soaked just walking down the path. So make sure you keep your eye out for that. So we're going to continue up this stairway here across from Zambia's smokehouse. And we will begin exiting the Stanleyville area. Got some more scare zone stuff out here that's temporary, and on our right you see a path. That's simply like a wheelchair path so that they can avoid the stairs. It just goes around behind the smokehouse and meets right back up here.
But we're going to head this way.
So of course the park is accessible and friendly to all kinds of people. So if you have your wheelchairs or your ECVs, it's an easy way to get up the paths. We got some scary pumpkins in here for Halloween.
And throughout the year, I've seen them decorate this with various types of flowers and cool other little decorations, some birds and butterflies and stuff maybe in here, depending on what time of year you're here.
Now, straight ahead as we move forward here, we have a nice aviary. So it's just a big circular aviary. The paths go to the left or the right, circling around the aviary and meet back up.
That way or this way.
We're just going to head to the right here. But you can see and hear all the tropical birds and species that they have that you can walk into the aviary. The entrance will be down here at the bottom. And go in the aviary and be very close up with a lot of tropical birds. Look at these colorful guys.
Look at this dude. What's up, bud? What's up, fellas? Even though you might be tempted to, don't feed them popcorn. They have their own special diet here.
And like I said, we get to the bottom of the circle here because it ramps down and you can see the path meets up, and there is the entrance to walk into the interactive bird experience.
Lorry Landing.
Lorry Landing.
All right. Continuing onward. Looks like we're coming to another temporary scare zone. These items would not normally be here all year round.
Cookie, cookie. Yeah.
The beautiful serenades of Frank Oz, ladies and gentlemen.
Now there's a reason you might hear kids music here, and specifically from the characters of Sesame Street, because on our left here is the Sesame Street Safari of Fun. This is the entire kids area here at Busch Gardens, and this is the entrance and exit, typical of a kids area, so your kids can't go running out in all kinds of directions. But we're just going to walk through the area here and show you what kind of offerings are around in the kids area. We'll start off, of course, with a gift shop with all the good Sesame Street gear. On your right, Snack and Getty tribal treats.
Kids hot dogs, Uncrustables, cotton candy. Nice little dining area with umbrellas here out to the side.
You got Count's Zambezi Rally over here, which are some fun little cars that the kids can drive around their path. You got Elmo here having a good time at Elmo's Treehouse Trek. Similar to Jungala over there, but even better for the little kids. You got another high play area, so kids can go up in the play area and cross the rope bridges and have fun doing all kinds of fun stuff.
We have the Flyaway little kid swings. Not currently operating right now.
This is Rosita's Djembe Flyaway. Kiddie swings.
Super small, super cute.
And Big Bird's Whirly Birdie. We got Telly's Jungle Jam, which is kind of a jungle gym area, of course. And on the bottom level, the Canopy Crawl, which looks like a big bouncy area.
Giant bouncy house here. Look at that.
So there's lots of play area over here for the kids. They won't be fighting to have space because you got treehouse, you got canopy crawl, you got the upstairs area there. Plenty of place for the kids.
Merry-go-round, safari go-round, themed to Elmo. Lots of flat rides. Don't be discouraged by our video. This place is typically bustling with life. We're just not here on an ideal day where there's lots of kids. Children are mostly in here currently at school. So they limit the operations of this area when they know they're not expecting a lot of little ones.
Snuffy's Elephant Romp. And on our right, Zoe Patra and the hippos of the Nile. Little baby kid flume. So kids can go up a little drop and get a little sprinkle of water.
And this might look colorful and themed to kids, but trust me, as an adult, I have gone in there several times when it's really hot. That's a great place to cool off.
And that is called Bert and Ernie's Watering Hole.
Great place just to run through, get wet real fast. You will find most days in Tampa, that's gonna look like a tempting option even for mom and dad to go through.
You got some kids games over here on your left.
And we wouldn't be a roller coaster channel if we didn't give you a coaster alert.
Air Grover.
Oh yeah, baby.
Look at that guy in there, all thumbs up and ready to go.
This ride is just wonderful for the little ones, nice and smooth. Not a very tall lift hill here.
Yeah, perfectly smooth and fun. Perfect for the kids. They're gonna love this roller coaster.
This one is currently operating. They're just switching riders right now. So you may not see it run in this video, but it is running today. And it is a very reliable coaster. It's running most days.
And if you see on the sign, it says, "Come take a picture with me." Over here, straight ahead, they've got a photo area. So at times during the day, they'll have the Sesame Street characters out, and you can sit there in front of the house, you and the kids, or the kids by themselves, and get cool photos with the Sesame Street characters.
Something so simple can be very magical to the little ones. And of course, what kids area would be a real kids area without a show?
That's right. And this show is called Let's Play Together, as you can see on the sign up there. This area is called the Sunny Day Theater. If you know Sesame Street, then you know why it's called Sunny Day.
Because we're sweeping those clouds away, baby.
That's right. So you can come over here, and while you're in the kids area, even just take a seat and watch a cool show that'll keep the kids occupied and laughing and smiling and having a great time.
So as you can see, that we've looped back around to the Treasure Hut gift shop entrance here. So that completes the loop of the kids area for Sesame Street.
That's right. So we will say goodbye to Sesame Street. Later, Elmo. Continuing on, got another refreshment area. As you've seen, plenty of those here in this park. And even on a light day, you've noticed almost every single one of them is open and staffed, so there's always someone around to refresh your thirst and give you those snacks.
Yeah, because definitely here in Tampa, hydrate regularly. That is very, very important. All right. You may be able to see some pink peppered into the background here. Those are our long-legged flamingo friends off in the distance.
Yeah.
And some seagulls trying to take over, as seagulls often do.
You know, fun fact, Jimmy, I just learned this recently that, did you know the pink color in flamingos comes from the amount of shrimp that they eat?
I actually did learn that as a youth in the 80s. I loved animals, and I remember being fascinated by that.
Isn't that wild?
They eat a lot of shrimp, huh?
Yeah.
To be that pink, you gotta eat a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, so you notice the little pink colors in your shrimp when you eat them. I guess those colors just transfer right over into those flamingos and those feathers once they eat them. Well, that's their favorite thing in their diet, is eating krill and shrimp.
So, in the case of the flamingos, you almost truly are what you eat.
On our right here, you have a second aviary here at Busch Gardens Tampa.
The Kookaburra Aviary.
Yeah, Kookaburra. So again, another area you can walk into and interact with lots of fun tropical birds, unique species. And here we're going to show you a real special part of Busch Gardens Tampa. We're going to walk into this area, which is called Kangaloom, an interactive kangaroo experience. And I wonder why they call it Kangaloom, Jimmy.
Something's looming, that's for sure, and I think it's a kanga.
Perhaps relating to kangas?
Give them some love.
Kangaroos. So on top of being able to walk into aviary areas and see birds up close, you can walk in here and interact with kangaroos. Really cool, unique animals.
I think you got this. Go for it.
I've been here in the morning, and sometimes in the morning, the trainers will let the kangaroos out, and they'll be hanging out right here on the paths that we're walking on. So I've walked in here before and petted a kangaroo, gave him a little chest scratch, and watched them just enjoy themselves, and fed them a little carrot. But this is definitely fun, and it's not often that you get to see this kind of thing in a petting zoo type environment. Say, hey buddy.
Look, you can get right up there. Look at that.
Hey fella. See, they love a little chest scratch. So come hang out with the kangaroos. Make sure you don't miss this interactive exhibit when you come here.
Not a lot of parks in our travels that include a petting zoo with kangaroos. Typically you would see billy goats and little pigs. This is a real treat to be able to interact with these really special Australian marsupials. There's another little guy, look at him just laid out, just relaxing.
Oh, he's the king. He's just chilling today. He's like,
got his own little area.
he's feeling antisocial. He's rethinking his life choices right now.
Got a couple more guys hanging out over here on the perimeter. They like to They're the antisocial ones, I think.
And then we
They
exit.
don't like the hustle and the bustle. Of course, we just kind of breezed through this area, but we trust that you'll want to spend a little more time here than we did.
Yeah.
We're just showing you.
No time limit. You can come in and freely spend as much time as you like here, hanging out with the kangaroos and the blades. Of course, ahead you see a hand wash station. So whenever you pet the animals, as I just did, you can
Just
come over
in
and
get you some
get your little hand soap.
quick hand soap and lather up, and there you go.
Give your hands a little wash. And we'll continue on. Now I do just notice a sign that it says, due to the interactive nature of the display, guests must be 5 years old to enter the kangaroo habitat. So
That is worth noting.
that is worth noting. You can't take your real little kids in there, but 5-year-olds or higher. Welcome to come in and see a really unique, really fun animal right up close. Give them a pet, maybe even feed them.
I wonder why that is. Do kangaroos deem toddlers as worthy opponents?
Right.
I'm gonna knock that kid over.
Just small enough. They're like, continuing around here, you see a little amphitheater here in the Busch Gardens area. Right now they got a show that's called 50-50. Choose your fate.
Huh.
I believe that's part of the Halloween attractions, but there's always some kind of seasonal show going on there under the Coke Canopy, as they call that amphitheater. This is one of the temporary food stands set up for the Hallow Scream.
Now, that will not normally be here.
And up ahead, the excursions. Gifts and snacks. And over here on our left, you have an area which they call the Festival Walkway. So a lot of times this gate is open. They'll have food stands and things up there. The reason they call it the Festival Walkway is this is usually the main entrance to walk up to one of the big theaters here at Busch Gardens Tampa. They have a very large outdoor amphitheater.
And they utilize that at various times year-round, not just for Halloween. You can see musicians and magicians, all kinds of things that's on that stage.
And on our right, you have the Gwazi Pavilion. As you can see, that's their catering event facility. I've been in there for coaster enthusiast events and had really nice dinners and fun times. So, if you want to have an event here at the park, you can always rent out the Gwazi Pavilion and have small or large groups.
Got some various midway games here. The Gwazi Climb, you've got the Gwazi Hoops. I'm sure you're noticing a word that we're saying a lot, Gwazi. Gwazi was a wooden coaster here once upon a time that just kind of reached the end of its service life, sadly, and they had to close that iteration of the attraction. Some of the things in this area still called Gwazi, of course, and there's a reason why. You have the Gwazi gliders here. We've got some little ones getting ready to go on that. But as I was alluding to, there was a wooden coaster called Gwazi.
Now look up in the sky, Jimmy.
Whoa, what do we
Now
have
Gwazi
here?
has become Iron Gwazi. This is the newest coaster here at Busch Gardens Tampa. Iron Gwazi opened earlier this year in February. And as you can see, well, they already put the sign out front just a few nights ago. This was named by the Amusement Today Golden Ticket Awards, of which I'm a voter, the Iron Gwazi as the best new roller coaster of 2022. And let me tell you that was an easy vote this year.
Oh yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Everyone in the industry knew, it was clear, this is the best new roller coaster opened this year. And quite frankly, one of the best coasters in the world. I will guarantee you that this will be one of the most incredible rides you've ever taken. It's super intense, fast, incredible, crazy changes of direction, wild inversions, including ones that dive towards the ground while you're going upside down. It's one of the most unique and powerful and wild coasters I've ever ridden. So as coaster enthusiasts, we love that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it has been well received by, I think, pretty much all of the coaster community. Seems to universally agree that is one of our favorites. And when you can please the coaster nerds, you know you've got something good on your hands, because the people that don't know a lot about coasters are definitely going to be blown away.
So straight ahead of us here is the Zagora Cafe. We're going to take a little walk through here so you can see it's somewhat like a little food court area. You got lots of outdoor seating, but as you can clearly see, covered outdoor seating.
Fans going up top to
With
give you a little
fans going.
breeze.
Yep.
And it actually is a couple of degrees cooler in here just as we walk in. It feels nice.
Right? So yeah, a bunch of food options here at the Zagora Cafe.
Cheeseburgers, hamburgers, french fries, seasonal fruit, and homemade desserts. So your standard fare. Smells good though. I can attest to that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they also have an attached patio bar with beer, seltzer, Bacardi cocktails, sangria, a little wine. When that is operating, you have a nice variety of beverages to pick from.
And my friends, we're almost near the end here. As you see straight ahead of you when we come out, this is Sultan
Oh,
Suites,
yeah.
almost right where we began. So we're going to turn to the right here. And ahead of us is the entry plaza, just behind this building. So if we'd have gone on the outside path here around Zagora Cafe, you'd have seen there's a Moroccan Delights. It's another food spot. Over here on your left, you got the Adventure Photo. So here's where you can come and buy a photo key, which is a pass to allow you to save all of your on-ride photos here at the park. You can have your photos turned into framed photos or special souvenirs like key photos. Like I said, you have Moroccan Delights ice cream over here. And this path just walks around the outside of the Zagora Cafe.
More locker rentals over there if you're interested in those things.
And here in this front Morocco section, like I said, we are right back to where we started.
Little Build-A-Bear workshop. I don't think we touched on that. And of course, you've got snacks and restrooms for your way out. You may have a long ride home, so don't forget to hit those restrooms.
And if we didn't mention when we started off our tour here, because I believe we were looking the other way, right here, right up front, and easy to find, is guest relations. Can't miss it. As soon as you come through the gates, it's just here on your left. So anything that you need help with, you can come to guest relations. If you need to pick up passes or ask questions about things, get some help with anything, you can always go to guest relations.
Got a park map here. Sometimes they will have physical maps. Right now it's got today's show schedules just hand printed for you. And
they
it's
put up their
currently
special-
showing their special map, but typically you'll see the permanent park map there.
Yep.
And that pretty much is going to do it. As you can see, do not bring alcohol out of the park. Finish your drinks, chuck them in the cans, and you can be well on your way.
And you'll exit to the right, and as they say,
Thanks for visiting, and as we say, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe for future walkthroughs, and we post a lot of vlogs and adventures as well. Hope you like to check those out. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure. For GP Coasters, I'm Jimmy.
and I'm Gooch.
And we are out of here.